Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will quickly check couple of most important features which Git provides. Starting with version control, then we will again check merge and branch. Now definitely push and pull is something which we have already seen. Push means uploading the changes to the remote repository, whereas pull means getting the changes from the remote repository to our local repository. Alright, now moving forward, we will also see when conflict arrives and how Git can help us to resolve conflict. Alright, so first of all, let us talk about version control. Now imagine there is this statement in our program, and imagine that this is a perfectly fine statement. We will definitely deal more about programming later down the line, but as of now understand that this is a perfectly fine statement. Now later down the line, imagine that a developer has made some slight changes. So there are like minor changes made in our software. So we will now initialize this variable as xpi equals 3.141592f. F is nothing but a literal, and this is a perfectly fine statement. Then later down the line, for example, there is a requirement and there is a major change. We have modified the data type. So whenever there are like major change, it's kind of a major build. There is a version shift. Alright. Now moving forward, for example, there is a yet another change made when it comes to initializing this variable. So imagine that there are like modification made in our application, which is perfectly fine. Now for example, later down the line, the client wants to use the third build, the second last build, and the client don't want to use the last build which we have sent to the client. Now how to manage these things, how to manage all these changes, how to manage all these versions? Definitely Git can help us. All these changes, all these commits are internally managed by Git, and we can definitely navigate in history and we can definitely check the changes. So this is very good, this is nice. Now whenever we commit, we usually do what? We give a version name. The version name could be v1.0, v1.1, but if there is like a major change, usually there is a version shift, and now after a major change, the version maybe will be called as v2.0, then v2.1. Now imagine the client has asked us to use version 2.0 rather version 2.1. So what we will do? We will no longer develop our code over version 2.1, rather we will start making use of version 2.0. So all of this history management, all of this version management, all of this version control is handled automatically by Git. We can check history, we can make use of branches and further develop our application based on any version in the history. So how to develop on a specific build, a specific version? Again, if we want to, for example, make use of this particular build, version 2.0, we can make use of this version 2.0 and start building version 2.0.1, version 2.0.2 using the copy 2.0 later down the line. Again, this is possible. Now how this is possible? We need to create a branch and we need to mark this version as the master version. Using this version 2.0, we will be creating a branch, and as soon as we create a branch using this particular copy 2.0, all the changes which are available inside version 2.0 will be with us, and we can further develop the code which is there inside version 2.0. Now, even though we are making use of version 2.0, still the changes, all the code in our version 2.1 will be again kept in the history. So even though we are branching our code, the code will be there. So again, this is a very interesting and good feature. Now friends, this is a start. We are simply giving you a knowledge related to Git, And we know you may not understand the concept of branching, you may not understand the concept of version control 100%, but don't worry, these are good to know information. As of now, simply move forward. As of now, understand that these kind of scenario happens, but later down the line, eventually when you will grow old in programming, you will able to understand how branching is done, how version control is done, and when you will be working on a team, definitely you will start working with some kind of version control system. I am pretty sure about it. Alright, so these are overall high level information. Take a note of it, try to understand, but don't worry even if there is some of the details which is not understood by you. Alright, now moving forward, there could be a scenario where we would like to merge the changes, right? So we would like to merge our version 2.0.2 and version 2.2. Again, this can be possible. Now imagine that we have two copies of exact same software, and in both the copies there could be changes. So merging the data could be a little tricky, and in these kind of scenario there could be a conflict. Now there could be two solutions to this conflict. First solution is that if there are like two files where there are different data, and the data can be merged automatically, then Git will merge automatically, right? So fast forward data merge is possible, but there are scenarios where Git cannot make decision how to merge two files, how to merge two version. In those kind of scenario, manual help is required. Definitely the IDEs, for example Eclipse, will give you interface using which you can compare the data side by side, and based on your requirement manually you can definitely fix the conflict. So these kind of conflict is possible, but usually the fast forward mechanism, fast forward git merge is very efficient, and majority of the time fast forward data merge would be done. Now finally, let us also check push and pull. What is push? Push is nothing but uploading the changes to remote repository, whereas pulling the data is downloading the changes on our local repository. There is a typo in here. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.